Okay, everybody, we have made it. I can't even believe it, but we are here. It is the final closing session of BioSummit. Asterisk, we do have the Witches and Brew sessions led by Amanda and Alex at the very end of this. But this is the final formal session of BioSummit 4.0. It has been what a few days, everybody. I don't know about you all, but I am like so full. Full is a good adjective. So full of wisdom, hope, inspiration, strange facts, the desire to organize an Assassin's Guild. What else am I full of? Uh, just so much inspiration, and I feel like it's going to take all of us. I'm sure. I know for myself personally, it's going to take a while to process everything that I've experienced, and I'm sure it'll be similar for all of you. We were chatting, and the organizers were chatting before we opened up, and we were commenting how we will be, shout outs to Nels Schaefer, posting videos of everything sooner than later, which is really, really great. So all of the FOMO, the intense, massive amounts of FOMO will be dealt with in a way where you actually can watch the sessions that you missed this year, which I think is really exciting. And also, in a way, one of the benefits of doing all this virtually. But I wanted to start today and this closing session by having us do some reflections and share backs of what happened today. Even just today has been so long. And, I don't know if you guys remember, but we had regional meetings today. You guys remember that happened? It feels like that even was so long ago. But I thought we could start, because there actually are quite a bit of sessions that we would love to get reflections back from the entire community on. So I thought it'd be wonderful if we could start there by just doing some reflections of the regional sessions that happened today. And so I will just offer one very quick one, because I happen to be in the African regional. And I actually don't know if, is anybody here that was in the African regional? There actually may not be, given time zones and so on, that may actually be the case, which may also mean that I can actually start by giving some reflections of the African regional, because I may be the only one from that group that is currently here right now. But that was organized and supported by Ola. Ola, just so much love and just shouts to Ola, not only for holding down like the applications committee on the organizing side and just, really like single-handedly being such a force in helping us review hundreds and hundreds of applications, like more than 650 applications all got reviewed, and Ola was such a force in making that all happen. And so he and Nadine helped to organize the African regional, and it basically featured a panel of four of our community biofellows, of Amanda, Abigail, Susan, and Nadine, all talking about African women in STEM. And it was like, I was just like, this whole session, it was like, I feel like each session actually is like, oh, this is the best session I've seen at BioSummit. But I was like, this is so amazing. And, I was like, why, we should have put this on like Nucleus, like every single day, just watch this. I could have watched them just talk, but it was so incredible. I'm so glad that it got, it is recorded, so you all will be able to watch it later. But I thought it was just a really incredible conversation. And, just as an observer, I'm watching them all talk and grapple with the issues, talking about, dealing with really significant patriarchy. How do you handle the fact that there's, hundreds of languages that people are working with and dealing with? And even just, basic things like infrastructure, internet connectivity. There was a kind of a funny moment where Stephanie was trying to share, and she was having some internet issues, and then finally got back on and was like, see, this is what I'm talking about, and then everybody kind of was laughing about it. But it was just a really remarkable conversation, and I just felt so felt so grateful to be there to watch it, and that that they were able to organize it and have it. So so those are some quick thoughts about the African regional. If anybody else was there, please do feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself. Otherwise, we can shift to some of the other regionals. How about North America? Does somebody from North America want to offer some thoughts? This could be some of the fellows, Mackenzie, or any others that were involved in organizing could kick it off.
I jump between sessions, so I feel like I can't actually speak to.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I definitely want to let anyone else who wants to speak. But yeah, the North American session was, I thought, very interesting, and kind of touched on some things that we've touched on already at the BioSummit, which is just like keeping the connections going. How do we help each other? How do we continue to collaborate? And we did that by having these 2 breakout sessions. One session was focused more on trust in science, or maybe mistrust in science right now, while the other was focused on, I believe, like how labs are responding to COVID-19. And I thought both discussions were very fruitful, and there was just like a lot of activity between the 2 groups, and we came back together and kind of debriefed there. But if anyone else would like to speak, please.
I think one thing that came out of it is some potential for some action items. So I think the idea is to take it from discussion into actually taking action to pull the region together and support each other more. Because this is a challenging time to try to run a lab in. It's a challenging time to do science education when you can't get kids in the lab. And so I'm hopeful that the region can come together and coalesce around some things. There was some discussion about trying to figure out if we could use DIY Biosphere better to support each other and post events and share information, etc.
And Maria did point out that we're one of the few areas or continents that does not have any unity. Yay, America and North America. Let's go.
No unity. I would just say
the statement was we need to give our shit together here in North America. Yeah, in many ways.
Well, it's a really funny reflection too, because we were talking even earlier this morning from Nadine's talk and from Linda Guamon's talk. How like their labs and their work, like instantly they're like elevated into working and collaborating with governments and just making it happen. And it's just there's just so much to learn from everybody around the world, which is another reason why I think this gathering is so valuable. Okay, well, why don't we move on from North America? And I guess our take home is we have to get our shit together, which is a proper lesson and message, which is true. How about we go to the Latin American regional? Does anybody want to share back from what happened there? Thelma, are you making some faces like you want to?
Yeah, also invite everyone to speak if they want. And I think that one of the most important parts was that many of the Latin Americans were new to BioSummit, and they were just like in ecstasies, like saying, this is such a great idea. We have to bring that to Latin America. And we are like, yeah, we're in that. Have you heard about Latin BioSummit? So we have been talking about all these crazy ideas, and then we split into breakout sessions, speaking of different topics. For example, I was in communications, and in inclusion. And the final output of that was that communication is like the most important part of getting a society like to believe or to trust and to understand science. And we also will create a mapping of where we are in the world, well, in our countries, and to know all our projects. So we are working on that database.
Okay, wonderful. And I'd love to hear actually from a new, somebody who's new to the BioSummit. Let's hear of a reflection of the Latin American regional for somebody that has never been to a BioSummit before. Somebody willing to raise their hands? Again, this is a step up moment. This is a step up brave space moment. So we encourage you to share and offer a thought. Somebody that has never been to a BioSummit before.
I could say something.
Yay! Who is that?
Catherine, hey.
Hi, Catherine.
Yeah, so I got invited by Scott, and I never heard of you guys actually, and I first didn't know what I got into, but I'm super happy I met all of you guys. It's amazing, yeah. And I learned so much, and yeah, wow, I'm still overwhelmed.
Catherine, where are you from?
Germany.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Wonderful. Is there a new person to BioSummit from Latin America that would like to share?
Me.
Yay! Is that
Hello,
Cristobal?
everybody. Yes.
Hey, Cristobal, go ahead.
Thank you, David. Well, this was my first BioSummit too. I was selected the last year, but I can't go to the summit because the visa problem. So I can't go. But this time I felt really happy. I had the opportunity to share with all of the community about terraformation with Symbio. And although I feel so nervous, I think that this family, this community is very nice. And I am very excited for the Latin BioSummit in the 2021. And I'm very happy for being here with all of you. Nice to meet you.
Yay. Thank you so much, Cristobal. That was so wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Oh, and where are you in Latin America, Cristobal?
Mexico, Guanajuato.
Mexico. Okay, wonderful. And Ramon, go ahead.
Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. This is my first time also. I really expected it like more technical. To me, it was not a surprise, but a kind of a great feeling that it was really like a BioSummit. I don't want to get like cheesy, but with a lot of feelings, like a BioSummit of love or something like that. It's a surprise for me because I thought it was like hard tech or hard biotech kind of geek people that was talking about DNA 24 hours a day, and it's, of course it is like that, but I did not expect the kind of community approach, the feeling approach, kind of this family kind of thing. To me, it was really nice. And well, thank you all. And well, I'm really happy to be here.
Ramon, that's so beautiful. Just, yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. I feel your emotion. I feel emotional hearing your emotion. Thank you so much. That was really beautiful. Well, why don't we keep going on just through the other regionals, and we'll continue again. Let's really try to lift up the voices of folks that are new to the BioSummit. Let's talk about the European regional. Does somebody from Europe want to speak and share a little bit about their perspective, both from the regional, but then also from the event too?
Yes. Actually, in the European, we had the mapping. So we did all the, where is everybody located? That was very good because it brings us together. And then the idea was to make a pilgrimage, which means that we will have to move all around from lab to lab and understand what other people are doing. However, remembering that the pilgrims back in the years, they were going where miracles were happening. So I think that was extremely touching in our European, because we believe that if we do those pilgrimages, we are going to make miracles happen. And I think that's terribly important in times, tolling times like this. We made commitments. Actually, I had the feeling that we had our shit together. So that was a feeling, a prevailing feeling. And every Sunday, the last Sunday of the month, we are going to be presenting, and we are going to be sharing resources. We're going to be sharing challenges and, of course, solutions. For me, this BioSummit, this is my third BioSummit. I have to say something. All were very unique, all. This one was the most challenging because I challenged myself in this age to go and do it digitally. Now, for many people that are very young, they were born with a tablet in their hands, you know, it was sure, given. For me, never in my life did I do so much learning. I am not as fast, yet I am here. I fell asleep half an hour ago, but I'm still here, still fighting, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's because from the bottom of my heart, this is the most learning experience that any human can have. Of course, I'm like a turtle going with a lot of rabbits, but I'm in the finishing line. You guys never give up. I love this family almost like I love my real family. Honored and privileged to be in the Bio Summit.
Christiana, love you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was so beautiful. I feel like every year Christiana always has a way of helping to synthesize and summarize and just share her from herself so beautifully. Thank you so much, Christiana.
I want to talk.
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is my second year attending the Global Community Bio at the Need Media Live. Being a part of this wonderful family has opened doors for me to generate great projects, create the valuable network in my region, Latin America, and meet to great persons. These days shared with you are very valuable and will not replace them for anything. Since science, I learned a lot of different multidisciplinary fields related to biotechnology. Thank you very much for the opportunity, David, organizer, and all of you who are part of this bio family. Thank you so much. I love you.
Thank you, Sophia. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Are there any other folks from Europe who might want to share? In particular, again, folks that have come to BioSummit for the first time from Europe.
I would like to share.
Yeah, please.
I was invited from this beautiful woman who's called Christiane and almost made us cry like a few minutes ago. I'm totally in the margin of this community. I'm not the scientist, but I'm impressed actually to see how much heart it's inside these faces that I see in front of me. It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful what you're doing. And if somehow all of us, we can support you with anything, we are just here. So just continue growing inside and out, and looking forward to see how with all this will continue the journey together.
Thank you so much for sharing. And really, you know, I think you said it right. This is a journey for us, all of us together. You know, I think as we're all sharing right now too, you know, we need family more than ever right now. You know, this is something that we desperately need, is this exact feeling of family and connection and community. So, so yeah, I just appreciate all of you for sharing this. Why don't we, have we done all of the regions? I'm sorry, my brain is very slow. What are we missing right now?
Asia Pacific.
Asia Pacific, yes. Can we have some of our colleagues from Asia? And I know this is just a tough time. This might be morning, so.
I think Salman and I are here.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Salman, do you want to go first? Go ahead.
Right. So I'm not sure if you can see the region that was excellent. Thank you so much. So like it should be the biggest one, Asian region, but there was a time 7 a.m. ET. So I really appreciate the people who made time for that. And also it was amazing because many of us had the same goal, and like we were facing the same issues. And when we actually I want to remember one of our fellow, that is Sudarshan from Nepal, who couldn't make it. He said that we're separated by borders, but connected by internet. So it's a very tricky thing. So like, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's summed up in every ways. So yeah, Abhay, please see if you want to add something. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I'm almost asleep. Sorry, people, for my background and yeah, my form here. But yeah, I'd like to share how everyone, like how each of the fellows came up with an issue to be discussed that as a whole Asia and Pacific faces, right? So I think Salman talked about accessibility of materials and resources. Arvind talked about biodiversity conservation. And Sonali talked about science education, bioliteracy, and sciences policy. And Bushra and Shrestha focused on the culture and women's science education. And Darren wanted to talk about bridging the gap, but he couldn't, between academia and industry, but he couldn't be there at the summit meeting. And I covered the neurosciences and mental health care aspect of it. It was really interesting how everyone connected to each of those issues. That yeah, I think it's a long way to go ahead, and we're all set for it. We're all well connected. Thanks so much for this platform. It's a family. Yeah.
Thank you, Labai. Thank you so
I
much.
would like to talk.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, can you say your name and where you're from as well?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, myself Mohammad Atif, and I'm from Pakistan. And you know, it's my first time that I joined the BI Summit, and you know, it was virtually, and I was not expecting that it would be a great event for me. And you know, I'm a bit emotional, and I'm a bit crazy as well. That you know, I deliver my talks uh, up to, you know, a level that I was expecting, and it was amazing to connect with all the participants. And especially I would like to thank all the organizers of this BI Summit. And you know, you guys rock it, and you guys made it a very memorable event. And that's it from my side, and thank you everyone, and thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. That was really beautiful. We all really felt that, and I know I definitely felt that gratitude. Thank you so much. Okay, are there other? Oh, please, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mai from Fab Lab Saigon in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. This is my first time attending this summit, and you know, just like I think it was on Friday, maybe Friday for you and Saturday for me, and I was joining this workshop by Gunther on Instagram, and you know, this is my first time attending a workshop, bio workshop for that matter, remotely, and it was so exciting. And you know, it's been an incredible couple of days, and I really thank you all for your generosity in you know, knowledge sharing, in connecting with people around the world, and it's been great to be part of this summit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mai. Oh, that's so wonderful that you're joining us from Fab Lab Saigon. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been up since 4 a.m. and you energy keeps me going.
Oh,
thank you, everyone.
Really, for all of our global colleagues that are adjusting their sleep schedules and everything to be here with us, really, we're so grateful to you for doing that. Yeah, just thank you all so much. Okay, and I just want to say too, we're going to continue to offer more reflections. So we have another, you know, again, another 35 minutes or so. We're going to do a segment. Actually, we're going to do some recap of the tracks. And just to give you guys a feeling, at the very end, we'll have a whole segment just about gratitude and sharing some real appreciations for each other. So we'll do all that in the closing. So if you still have something you want to share and you feels like you have something in your heart that you want to share, don't worry, we'll have a lot of space for that at the very end as well. But I do want to make sure we get through just a little bit of, not necessarily logistics, but just making sure that we get a bit of the recap of the day. So, but hold those feelings and make sure that you keep them in your heart, and you can share them all throughout the next 45 minutes. So I did want to do a recap of the tracks, because again, we had another 3 tracks plus workshops, and there were at times 3 different workshop tracks happening. Okay, so it's just like, it's too much stuff. But could we get somebody from the responding to COVID-19 track to share back a little bit of what they experienced and how they felt about that particular track? Is there anybody that would like to talk a little bit about that one? And if not, that's okay too. We can also have Mohammed.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would like to talk.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Mohammed.
So I was a part of this talk, and it was really a good experience for me. I would like to talk from Pakistan that the response from the public and from the government was noteworthy to mention, because our government imposed centralized smart lockdown that really worked. And the death toll was actually very low compared to the other countries in Asia, and it just because of the centralized smart lockdown, and because of the work that is actually done by the science junkies to communicate the society about the COVID-19 pandemic. And personally, I was actually doing I organized science junkies from my local, and we made a group in the name of Young Scientists Union, to aware the people and society about this global conundrum. And we are doing uh, we are also doing it now, and I hope that we will one day cope up with this global challenge. And that's it.
Great. Thank you so much, Mohammed.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And actually, Chaz, did you want to chime in and talk a little bit more about the track?
Yeah, if you guys don't mind hearing me again, I feel like I'm talking a lot, but yeah, I think, COVID has really impacted a lot of us personally and professionally. And I know me personally, I've like spent many days and nights like trying to figure out how we could respond to COVID. So to be able to meet with other people and just like hear what people have been working on was like really incredible. And, we started this track with this like powerhouse session from Jogel, and just to hear what everyone is doing, and to hear that 4 of the projects are all in contention for this X Prize was just incredible. And I mentioned this earlier to the organizers, but Mark, if you're here, you have this incredible like lab tour, and I would have loved to just like spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours talking about uncapping tubes because that's something that has like been the bane of my existence. And something that I'm, want to think more about. And, I find that it's incredibly frustrating that the best option is like unattainable for many people. And, to the speakers who did the lightning talks, it was incredibly fascinating to hear what, you're working on in your respective areas of the world. So yeah, just a really great session all in all.
Thank you, Chaz. And also actually a reminder for everybody, this is also Chaz's first BioSummit. So Chaz is like a grizzled veteran organizer now, but this is actually his first summit too. So Chaz, just thank you. Really, really, it's been a real blessing working with you, Chaz. You've been so sensational. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And do we want to, Mackenzie, were you in COVID, the COVID track as well today, or were you more in science?
For the last half I was, yeah.
Mackenzie's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can speak to it a bit. The session with like Chaz and Will and Tom from OpenCell, that was the first one that I attended in this session. I missed all of Jogel, and that was really great. Chaz, we actually had a session wrap up for that just like half an hour ago. But Chaz brought up a good quote from Will, which was like, "This is a really interesting time like in science because it's like maybe the only time that every biologist is working on the same thing in some sense. Like we are all so focused on COVID-19 right now. It's just like really inspiring." And then just to follow up with what Chaz said, like hearing from like the international perspective from our community lightning talks was also really eye-opening and really interesting to see how like we live in so many different areas but are plagued by many of the same things to a certain degree, of course. And that was just really like a good way to build community. Yeah.
Awesome. And Chaz, I agree with you 10,000%. So Mackenzie also is now a grizzled organizer, but this is also Mackenzie's first BioSummit. And Mackenzie has been so amazing, running multiple tracks, slaying it on the dance floor last night. Mackenzie is the one. Yes. So just Mackenzie, thank you for everything. It's been such a joy working with you. You are incredible. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, and why don't we move on to, what are the other two tracks? Guys, you guys gotta help me, my brain is.
Global collaborations in science communication.
Yes, let's do science communication. Who would like to talk about science communication? Anybody like to offer some
David.
questions? Yeah, go ahead. Is that Forum?
Yeah, it's me. I'm sorry, I just wanted to add to the COVID track section before we could move on
Yeah, go
to
for
this
it.
one.
Sure.
So it was really amazing, not just the session this morning, but in the entire 3 days, whenever we've spoken about COVID situations in different parts of the world and how people have been tackling it. It felt to me at some point during my grad school when I used to watch Suits, it felt like when you come across certain situations, you ask yourself, how would Harvey Specter react to this situation? And in the same way, I felt when I was hearing these different mindsets, different innovations, different approaches to solving this problem from all these different people, to take inspiration from each of these, that how would a person in Africa versus how would a person in Greece, to North America, to India, look at this problem and try to approach it, to solve it. So that was a very interesting learning for me. During the morning session today, it was really overwhelming to see all these, the passion and dedication above everything else that every innovator had to take up leadership and solve the problems that they're seeing around. So that itself was quite inspiring. The innovations were amazing, and I just wished and almost prayed that these innovations reach the ground realities where they are actually needed and for what they're actually conceptualized. So I really hope for this deployment and scale up steps ahead, if there's any way as a community we can help out, not just in the creation and ideation, but deployment, I think we should do that. And later during the lab tours that we had, it was just really insightful to know how people are trying to use technology, right from robotics to logistics, to try to solve different problems. And it just kept me giving new ideas as to if OpenCell can do something in shipping containers, can we do something in local trains in Mumbai to help with the logistic problems? So it kind of gives you all these different ideas that you connect with different dots. And I guess this is the best part of the summit for myself.
Forum, thank you so much for sharing. That was just a beautiful synthesis. And also, I think a great point about, kind of next steps and how do we keep the momentum going. This is a question that's been asked a little bit here and there that I've heard. And I want to reaffirm for everybody that the Slack is staying. The whole reason we set up the Slack the way that we did is because we want this to be infrastructure. We want this to be, now that we do have all of this wonderful connection amongst each other, we've had this very powerful common shared experience. We have a place now where we can continue to work and talk and build. So all of the, the Latin American Regional Summit, I think you guys are planning to continue to use the Slack to work and talk, and same for everybody. For all of your projects, now that the Slack is set up, also, you are all able to create your own channels. So you can launch channels and actually go through and if you want to start certain tracks on anything, you can go ahead and do that. So really, this is a key thing. And again, I'll mention this as well. We're going to take like a week or however long just to like rest and recover. But we are imminently working on these proceedings to try to crystallize this particular event. And then imminently, we're also going to start thinking about next steps. We're trying to support the Latin American Bio Summit, which we'll talk about in a moment, in global collaborations. And also, this is for all of you that are new and might want to get involved and do more. We will create venues for that as well, because this is, we really want to capture all the energy and momentum that we're building from this to really activate, and to your point, exactly, Forum, really deploy and make these projects real in the world. So thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so why don't we move on now to science communication? Who would like to share about that track and what happened there? To start to kick us off. John, yes.
Can I? Yeah, just
please go for it.
I mean, thinking about today, like in science communication, or loads of stuff we talked about was like like attacking it, like the, or not attacking, but deconstructing like the conventional institutions of like scientific discourse and stuff. We had Steve this morning talking about having a go at, you know, academia and PhD process and all of this, and we heard loads in a bit about unconventional platforms and things, about, you know, loads of problems with things like how do you read a paper and stuff. I've never read a paper before, and things, there's language issues and all of this. And yeah, I really love being involved in all these conversations, and to make things more inclusive for everybody and stuff. Yeah, I really love being involved in all these conversations about yeah, opening up those institutions to everybody. It was awesome.
Marvelous. Thank you, John. And also to say for John, who has been also, he's one of our community bio fellows, but also put in so much work in pulling together this track and has just been an all-star organizer. And again, Steve Cross, everything from the morning would not be possible without John. So John, just huge snaps and love to you. Really appreciate you so much for stepping up. And this is also your first Bio Summit. So just thank you for everything. Really, you've been so amazing. Thank you, thank you. Can we get some other reflections from science communication? And yes, I agree, Justice. Great leadership. That is the word. Other folks? Science communication? Yeah, Thelma, go for it.
Yay. I was in the presentation of the creators of content, you know, like TikTok and YouTube and podcasts and all that. And I was like so inspired that I really said like, wait, I really want to do this. Because they were saying, for example, that sometimes they create their content from drama or from gossip they listen to in the hallways, and they are like, oh, this is a great idea, I will post something about that, and then go out do it. And then it's like, I really listen to drama and gossip in my life, so I really should connect that to science and then just do it. So that was really inspiring to me. Drama and gossip moves me. So it was cool. It was awesome.
Great. Thank you so much, Thelma. Other thoughts from science and communication track today? Alex.
I have one. Yeah, I just wanted to share a quick reflection that I thought, you know, besides all of the amazing conversations that we've had over the past few days, and especially in this track, you know, like John said, deconstructing all of the traditional modes of communication, I think one of the most important things that really resonated with me was that, you know, we deal with a lot of really serious problems. We have a lot of like weight on our shoulders. I think that we all feel as a community. We talk about our global responsibility. We talk about our responsibility to each other. And we do have like a ton of fun, but often I think it's a great reminder that it's very healthy to laugh at yourself. And I don't think we've had, you know, that kind of comedy before. And I think that poking fun at yourself and being able to take it, laugh at it, and enjoy it is so valuable. And the fact that we have actually come so far to be a community that like someone can poke fun at us, I think really says so much about how strong the Bio Summit like family and vibe is. And it just really hit me that how wonderful that was, and also made me feel good because I love laughing. It's the best medicine.
Thank you for sharing that, Alex. I totally agree. Yeah, John, I'm just having, so, you know, we tried so much stuff this year. Like we'd never done an open mic before, which I thought also was like so beautiful and so amazing. And we've never had comedy like that before. And so, yeah, I totally agree, Alex. I was following along in the organizer like WhatsApp group, and it just felt like I was missing like the best time ever in science communication. It felt like you guys were really, really enjoying it. So that's really fantastic. Any other thoughts from the science communication track? If not, then we'll move on to summarizing workshops, which again, today was like the massive crazy workshop day. There were literally 3 workshops happening at a time for a stretch in there, which was totally bananas. Yes, +1 to exhausted Scott. Scott was like running, I think, 4 different things. I saw you in at least 4 different rooms. I felt like, Scott, you were pulling a Maria today. But do folks want to share back on any workshops that they experienced that they thought were great, or anything else about workshops? Anyone? If Patrick is here, Maybe
Can I share
Patrick.
something?
Oh yeah, please go for it.
Awesome. So I went to the biodesign with grasshopper workshop and then the soil workshop, and both of them were so amazing. With the grasshopper one, it was really interesting seeing how you can use mathematical algorithms to represent patterns in nature, and that was really cool to me. And then, did I freeze?
Nope, you're there, Anne. Go ahead.
So the soil one, it was really fun just looking and learning about the soil, because you look at soil and it's like it's dirt, but today I learned it's not just dirt, it's an ecosystem. So that was really cool.
Somebody needs to put that into the Words of Wisdom channel right now. That was beautiful. And actually, Anne, can you introduce yourself and just say your name and where you're from and just a little about yourself?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm Anne. I'm from the Bay Area. Right now I'm a senior in high school, and I'm working with Emily, Takara, and Trisha Satish on GIY BioBuddies, and I'm also a team mentor for BioJam.
Can we give just like all of our love to Anne and all of the other insanely amazing and inspiring youth that were a part of BioSummit this year?
Woot, 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 woot.
Yes, all of our love to and respect and admiration to you all. So, Anne, you should know, and I think the BioBuddies know as well, but you know, when you all were having your youth panel, I was following along in the chat, and it was basically like, the comments were basically like, this is the best session I've ever seen of anything. Like the session that you all had, that youth panel, I think it sounded like it was so spectacular. And you know, you all were just so fantastic. And just as a small kind of aside, the BioBuddies were one of the finalists in the Biodesign Challenge. I think it was last year. And I had the fortune of being a judge at that particular event. And I had asked the BioBuddies, you know, as part of that session, if I could be an intern with the BioBuddies, because that's basically now my highest career goal, is to be an intern with the BioBuddies. And I asked them, and they said at that time, and I think Anne, it was you that replied, and you said maybe. You said maybe. And then when we came to the BioSummit, you all gave one of the earlier talks last year at the BioSummit, and I asked again if I could, you know, if you guys would let me be an intern for the BioBuddies, and you told me again, maybe. So I have to admit, my self-esteem right now is not that high. It's a little, you know, wavering and shaky, but you know, so I hope, I don't know if I want to ask right now if I can still be an intern for the BioBuddies, but
We never got a resume. You gotta send over a resume.
see, this is the thing. This is the thing. I did not send my resume, and I don't deserve to be in consideration. This is part of my problem. Okay, and you know what? I got to do better. It's not about you guys. It's about me. I'm going to take this lesson to heart. But really, just appreciate you, the BioBuddies, so much. You all are just such an inspiration. So thank you guys. Okay.
I think Patrick is here to talk about workshops and mention how they run today. Patrick, are you there?
Oh, Patrick, yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah, the FOMO was great today. Yeah, as you said, we had 3 workshops running parallel at the very end there. Yeah, it's been so much of a blur. Definitely the 3D microfluidics 3DUF workshop I think was great. Sort of a nice little CAD design tool for microfluidics, and so sorely needed. You know, the soil microscopy. We should do a lot more of those sort of simple hands-on demonstrations of how you do things, because that stuff, really anybody can do this. I mean, even if you have like a beginner's microscope, you could see some really cool stuff in just a little bit of soil extraction. You know, or go hunting for water bears. We need to have a bear hunting expedition next year.
Hey, Patrick, you know, one thing we had talked about was the idea that, you know, so obviously this whole event was a giant experiment, right? Like we built a virtual conference from nothing. We had no infrastructure, no idea what we were doing. And we speculated a bunch of stuff might work. But, you know, now that we've done this, I mean, there's no reason why virtual workshops have to wait like every year. I mean, this is something that could be launched in a more regular basis and could be a recurring type of a thing. Do you and other folks doing workshops feel like this is something we could, you know, it sounds like we can obviously get better at it, but it feels like something we could organize and do more frequently?
Absolutely. And we were talking during the North America breakout that, you know, we should do more shared virtual events.
And these workshops would be an excellent format to do that because, you know, we're all meeting virtually anyway. Let's do like have an interesting experiment, or maybe we'll buy a couple of GoPros that we can have like head mounted and that we're shipping around the country for the next person that wants to demonstrate something in the lab, you know?
So I love that. And I also think, you know, leading up to the Bio Summit, for all of you that were not part of the organizing team, you know, we worked and did a whole bunch of these community town halls, which is us basically figuring out over a few months, essentially how to work Zoom. That's basically what what boiled down to be. Because the first town hall that we tried, which we were like, okay, this is gonna work, we got Zoom bombed. Like immediately. We were like 15 minutes in, we're like, oh, this session is so great, everything's going so well. And then all of a sudden, like, just Zoom bomb, you know, like people, it was, I won't describe the nature of the bomb, but it was not pleasant to experience. And we're like, oh, we need to get better about security. We need to, like, you know, change some settings in our Zoom and all of this stuff. So we've learned a lot, and I agree. I mean, I think after the Bio Summit, this is something where we could continue to have regular, you know, events like this that could be, you know, much obviously lower key than the Bio Summit itself, but could be really great. I hear somebody unmuting. Does somebody want to share? Okay. Any other reflections about workshops?
I had one.
Yeah, go for it.
I guess it's still going on because I have my microscope still set up. But yeah, I had a blast just sharing with everyone. It's something I've been really diving into, especially with soil, and I got to talk about the garden ecosystems track. But I really love the factor of just like Patrick said, just doing. Just getting people engaged in it, because that will kind of like spark that curiosity where people will take time to learn all the details to molecular synthetic biology. And that's something like that experiential education is so valuable, and this weekend's been just so jam-packed full of it.
Fabulous, Craig. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad to hear your workshop and your talk went well. I think this was part of Anne's comment about dirt and soil. So thank you, Craig. Okay, so any other concluding thoughts about workshops? If not, then, oh, go ahead.
This is Aishwarya from India. I attended the Supermind Design workshop. It was a great experience for me. I'm so sorry if I miss out something because it's early morning here and I'm feeling really sleepy. I haven't slept yet. And we had a great time there. David discussed about how to design, how to gather the collective idea, like how to define the problem, generate the ideas and evaluate the ideas. And we discussed about the basic designing concepts like zooming in, zooming out, analogies. Then we discussed on groupifying, like considering the whole group as a one. And then Cognify, Techify, everything was wonderful. And we also had a Zoom meet in person with, I'm so sorry, like in Mingler, we had a meet with the person and we could communicate better. And I'm a person who really hesitates for communicating, but this was a really great experience for me, honestly. And the World Bio Summit was rocking. I really loved it. I wish to be part of the Bio Summit all the way from now on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the workshop too. Thank you so much. And yes, we're so excited to continue working with you. And also for staying up or waking up early, your sleepiness, we totally appreciate it. And thank you for doing that. Okay, so I'm going to say too, there's one other section that's a little bit logistical, and then we can wrap up with really some thank yous and gratitude to everybody. So the next section that is a touch logistical, but also feel free to share your emotions, is pluses and deltas. Okay, so this is the part where we'd really love to hear from you all and just get your feedback on aspects of the conference that you felt went well, that you thought were things that we should either do again or just keep doing. And then also deltas, meaning things that we can improve. And so this very much goes back to day one and the larger kind of theme from both Marshall and Abel around a growth mindset. We always want to be improving. We're always prototyping, right? I mean, I think you've seen this entire 3 days. this whole conference is a prototype. I mean, we literally had no idea what was going to happen. I mean, you should have seen us in the organizing Zoom room, like at 8:45 on Friday, like as the Zoom room was, like, we didn't know if we had enough concierges to handle the number of people that we just didn't know. We were just like, this is totally unknown. We're just going to open it up and see what happens. And so, you know, in that spirit, I think we really want to get feedback from you all. And I want to share too that I created a channel on Slack called Pluses and Deltas. So I'm just going to share my screen. Oh, actually, I can't share my screen right now for some reason. That's fine. If you look on Slack, there's a channel that says BS4-Pluses and Deltas. And actually, if one of the organizers, if you don't mind taking notes in that channel right now as we go through this discussion, that would be really wonderful. But I'd love to hear from everybody, in particular the folks that are new to BioSummit. What are some pluses? What are some things that you thought were great that we should keep doing? And this could be about the format. It could be about the technology we used. It could be anything. And then also deltas, areas that we can improve for the future. So, so that is the prompt. Anybody can feel free to unmute themselves and start sharing.
I'd like to share.
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right, so this is my first BioSummit. So I don't really have a frame of reference as to how it was in person. But I was amazed at the fact that how well we got to communicate, but also establish this bond and sense of community. That was really unexpected for me, especially the open mic and then the party last night. Like, I really didn't think I could party on Zoom. But yeah, like I was exhausted by 9 p.m. But after that, like after the party, I was like pumped. So that really worked. The workshop, so I used Miro and Zoom, and I think it went pretty well. I think if it was in person, probably would have, some aspects of it could have been enhanced. But the fact that this platform provided the opportunity for people to participate from all over the world makes it a huge strength. So I think moving forward, having the opportunity to have a hybrid would be beneficial for everyone participating.
Sarah, thank you so much. And just to shout you out too, you were one of the dance floor heroes. You, Mackenzie, you were there until like almost the very end. You were amazing. That was so awesome.
I tried. You were amazing. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Oh, appreciate it very, very much. That's great. That's some great feedback. Other pluses and deltas for folks. And you can go ahead and please say your name and your location too when you speak. Who would like to go next?
I have something.
Can I?
Oh, yeah. Why don't we go Dean first, and then whoever just spoke next. Yeah, go ahead, Dean.
I did not mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No. Go for it.
So I'm from Massachusetts. I'm an artist and designer, and I'm studying printmaking formally at an art school, but I have new interests in what we're discussing here, and I'm so glad to have been involved with what we're doing. It's been very enlightening, very enriching, I hope, to everyone, aside from myself. And something that was brought up minutely about GoPros is a great delta, because their newer cameras are integrated with live systems. And this has become new to me. And even their 360 camera, which has a camera on the front facing as well, that one is completely live integrated, so you can do your DJ set right to YouTube as we're experiencing. Oh, there was one other thing. Oh, as Craig had shown us just now with his microscope, I think that the integration of what he had done there with his Apple TV was spectacular. We got to see from his phone him going out to his porch and actually getting the soil sample, which was very, very good. It's like we were right there with him. And yeah, I think just moving towards greater ways to integrate experiential digital ways for everybody to just feel like we're with each other even though we're not.
Dean, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. That's really, really fantastic. We can definitely incorporate that for the future. Whoever was just spoke, you can go ahead and go next.
Hi, it's me. Can I?
Yes, Natalia, please go for it.
This is my second Bio Summit, and it is always surprised me with everything. Everything is like mind blowing. I mean, in the first one that you can stay together and feel the connection. I think that in the virtual it will be a little bit different, but still all the people is like so close connected that even technology doesn't make us to feel apart. So I love that everyone smiles when seeing a familiar face, and the feeling is still there. I really think that it's a huge like organization ideas. I love the note takers idea, because most of us feel like we are losing the other workshops or the other things, and have this memory is a really good opportunity to review or learn what is going on when we cannot attend it, because we are like wanting to learn about everything. So I really appreciate that it's something new. And I think that, yeah, it was so exhausted. I mean, I was in the 7 a.m. workshop until the party. And my husband was like, what are you doing there? I mean, I cannot like step back, and I was crying, laughing. And yeah, it's the more virtual connective experience that I have. I mean, and I've been teaching for my university for 3 months, but I never think that it could happen through Zoom, that you can really connect as persons. So I really enjoy it.
Natalia, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
Hey, David, people were mentioning that we forgot to do a recap of global collaborations.
Oh my God. See, this is why. Thank you for saving me, because my brain is full of holes.
Someone in the chat mentioned it. I think Guy and
yes,
lifted that up. And I was going to mention it to you, and then I got distracted by the chat and forgot.
Yeah, let me respond really quickly to Natalia, and then let's do global collaborations, because Natalia, you brought up something really powerful. When we were designing this conference, and again, we'll do thank yous to all the organizers in the next segment, but it was months of planning and thinking about how to actually preserve that. It's really funny. I think Justice, you might be able to share, because Justice is in a parallel conference that's happening right now, and just kind of the difference. I think many of you have had Zoom experiences or digital experiences. We had a lot of thought into every little detail about how we might be able to preserve that feeling. And one, again, I want to shout out the both Clayton and Wesley, who are here right now doing the MIT MVP folks. But they, in every single meeting that I had with them, tried to talk me out of having it be a meeting. They were like, you really should do a webinar. You really, really should are you sure you want to do that? You should really do a webinar. And the reason why you don't do a webinar is because you need to see everybody's faces. And actually, this is like my comment right now too. Can you guys, if you guys don't mind not spotlighting, we want to just see everybody's, see everybody in gallery view. That'd be great. But gallery view, this is the view. You can see everybody's faces. This is such a critical aspect of getting that emotional reaction, so you can actually feel that connection. Webinar is like, you're just watching a bunch of people. The only way you can possibly interact is through a chat. It's just like the most like, I'm just gonna not really pay attention right now and be present, right? So all of these little features, and then Hello World, right? We're trying to figure out, Hello World is one of the best parts about BioSummit. It's like in person, it's like mania, everybody running on stage, it's total chaos and it's beautiful. But having everybody record the 15-second Flipgrid, and shout outs to Nels for figuring this out, and Pat for really doing that innovation, it still kind of worked, right? We still got to see everybody introduce themselves. It wasn't exactly the same format, but you still got that kind of feeling. And things like the open mic, which we had never tried before, I thought was so brilliantly successful last night to let you all have a chance to share. And then Mingler too, so it was all of these different experiences, but I think so much of it is like being able to actually see and like have that opportunity to still engage and get all of that, that feedback is so critical towards the feeling part. So I think, it's something that hopefully you all can learn from. And for those of you that are trying to organize other things too, I think, we're still synthesizing and understanding really well what worked and what didn't. And this, I think, is part of the conversation here too, is for us to get that feedback. But Natalia, just thank you so much for sharing that. And that's certainly something that we've been thinking a lot about. Okay.
Can I riff off that for a moment?
Yes, go for it.
Amazing experience when you have a multi-mon setup that I'm showing through my camera here on my monitor with all of your smiling faces and the speaker there, right? It is able to do it.
Unfortunately, your internet connection's not holding up, Derek, but it does look amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I actually also have a 3-monitor setup. I've got one laptop and another laptop here too. So it's like, so I agree. If you're able to do it, obviously it's not everybody can have a couple monitors, but it definitely can help you organize all the stuff. Certainly for organizers, you have like so many different windows that you need to be looking at any given time. But all right, let's do global collaborations. I'm so sorry for passing on that. Yeah, Mackenzie's got all of her items. Let's talk about global collaborations quickly. Who would like to share back about global collaborations? Is somebody unmuting themselves? I actually can't see.
I'll start us off on global collaborations. I was there all day. Great shout out to NIH for actually joining us and inviting the whole global community to join for DNA Day, which is coming up. So I think that's a real opportunity for community labs or anyone else who wants to do something to partner with them and get involved with that. They have been supporting, like, trying to get a global DNA Day going. They have resources. They can help promote your event. So if you're hosting something, it's a great way to kind of get that, like, I'm hosting an NIH, event for DNA Day sort of cred. And they want to partner with us. And so that was exciting.
Sorry, really quickly on that, Maria. So National DNA Day is totally awesome. I was their guest speaker last year for National DNA Day. And so Roseanne and Kimberly, they're amazing. The part of NIH that they work for is like, they're like our people. They are like so amazing. Like that particular, it's NIH GRI, that particular part, they're sensational. And yes, they want to partner. And talking earlier again about like us getting in the US, like getting our acts together, like we can try to emulate our colleagues in Ecuador and Cameroon and actually do that collaboration with government and an entity like NIH. And they are so down. So Maria, I'm so with you. I love that. And we should totally do that.
Yeah. And then, we riffed on open insulin and the idea of setting a nice precedent for distributed manufacture of pharmaceuticals that are open source and community owned. And again, we talked about this idea of ownership and patent-free medicines. We had some great sessions. We were able to wrap up with like 45, 50 people attending ISIS's session on putting together a bio summit for Latin America for next year. So that's super exciting. And they have the best logo. Oh my God, they're giving Pat a run for his money in the logo department. So they're off and running.
Isis, go for it.
I'll show the logo, just a second.
Yeah, she'll pop it up at some point. It'll just show us, but yeah, that's coming next year.
Does anybody else who was in the Latin American Bio Summit meeting want to share a little bit more?
Yes, I can talk. It was like, we have a lot of new members in our team this year at the Bio Summit, and we want to try to talk about the problem, but the time was really short. So I think we need to establish our channel of communication. So we did that. And then we apply what we learned at the fellowship program about time frames. So we are going to be in our next meeting on next Saturday talking about organization of this Bio Summit. Everybody is welcome to share their pluses and deltas to learn from you, because it was a really great organized event and we want to be the same as you. Thank you.
And I
would like to add that we had, you go on first, Alma.
Just a little thing that we will use the shared purpose we have here at Bio Summit and translate that in Spanish and Portuguese and Portuñol, which is our mix of languages, and we will adapt that to Latin American context. So we'll keep going.
Yes, that's one of the things that I was going to comment. Thank you, Thelma. And also we have been organizing this. We are sharing now in the Bio Summit 4.0, but we have been organizing since last year, and we already have a certain structure here. We are going to do it in Brazil, in the Foz do Iguaçu, that is a tribal border. We have the place that is hosting the venue. We have infrastructure for logistics, for do all the communications with everybody, like this crazy months of planning that the organizers put the effort here. We have a huge support behind already. So Yes, we invite everybody to join and make it, you know, the most kick-ass biosummit ever in Latin America.
Yes, so great. We're all gonna have to figure out when we can go to Brazil. This is gonna be so epic. Really, really exciting, Isis and everybody. That's so fantastic. Okay, I want to be mindful of time because we're already past the hour, so we'll start really trying to wrap up. But do other people have other pluses and deltas that they want to share before we close with some just gratitude and reflections at the very end? Any other pluses?
I'd like to slip in a quick delta, if I may.
Yeah, please.
In one of the sessions today, was not organized or anything else, and jumped on and was muted, and of course couldn't unmute. And I'd like to suggest that we have a 2-minute hellos where everybody is unmuted and can jump in and feel like they can talk. Because I was worried there about establishing a 2-tier kind of setup when people first come into the rooms. And I love the fact that we've gotten more security and gotten away from Zoom bombs, but everybody feeling like they're on the same level at the start of the meeting would be beautiful.
Derek, that's really great. I think it depended a lot on the room and sort of how things were flowing, but in general, I think the rooms that I were in, the setting was just set for in the breakout, the afternoon sessions, so that anybody can just talk anytime. So I think I think for sure that would have been a really good default just to have for folks. And the other innovation too that I think was happening in some of the rooms was in that kind of 15-minute period before the session started was just introductions. Like MCs were just facilitating introductions. So exactly to combat what you're talking about, we all just got to know each other. Yeah. So not every room did that, but I think that's something we can institutionalize and just have people do that at the start. That worked really, really well and just gets the energy flowing, exactly to your point. But that's a great delta. Any other pluses and deltas?
Hi, I'm Jessica. I am from Oakland, California. And I actually just wanted to, not pluses and deltas, but quickly follow up on Maria's thing about the NIH talk. They're working now on our suggestion to translate all of their materials into Spanish to allow global reach of, so it's not just going to be National DNA Day, they want it to actually be international. And so they're working on translating that. So for everybody.
Awesome, thank you, Jessica. Yeah, and again, they're a great community over there, that particular group in NIH. Other pluses and deltas to share? Oh, I think Isis has got a logo.
Oh yes, just to show for a few seconds, that's the logo that was commented about.
Beautiful. That's so great. Thank you, Isis. That looks awesome. Yeah, let's get some snaps and loves for that. That's so cool. Looks beautiful. Okay, so everyone, I just wanted to say to you, again, I think I can share my screen now. Great. So this pluses and deltas channel, it's really, really important that you share here and tell us stuff, because we're not going to be able to improve unless we know what worked and what didn't, right? So this is the channel. In past years, we've had a Google Doc, but because we're all on Slack, let's just do it here. But really, this is something I super encourage you all do soon, like ideally like in the next 24 hours before you forget and life moves on and kind of takes over. But please go to that channel and share your pluses and deltas. It's really, really important that we get that feedback. Does anybody else have any quick final pluses and deltas before we move on to just kind of closing? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's maybe it's kind of reflection, but also it's a plus. For me, the way that you organize in the virtual way was really productive, because I knew that everything is, if I miss something, it is in the drive, or maybe the people that were taking notes. And also at the same time, I have this feeling that of connection that everyone says, but for me, the most important was the joy, because these times for me were really sad. I'm really emotional. But and then I was thinking, oh, maybe this is going to be bittersweet. But at the end, it was different, and it was like putting together worlds, because here my mom is a scientist, and sometimes she was listening part of the thing, so it was really good at putting together my worlds. And maybe the deltas is the FOMO that I was always thinking the same. No, if the videos are going to be uploaded and this, but yeah. And thank you a lot. You have a productive joy, I think.
That's another good one for our Words of Wisdom channel, productive joy. That's really beautiful. Thank you, Cecilia. Oh, and just to say too, I have these. Cecilia, these are from Cecilia from the last Bio Summit. Okay, so should we shift into the final phase? Does anybody else want to say a plus and delta? Because we're gonna do some reflections. Oh, go ahead, Patricia.
Wait, can you see me or is my camera dead?
No camera, but we can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think my camera's having some issues. I know a big plus for me was that it actually felt like Bio Summit. It's like it's a different format, but it felt like Bio Summit. And something that I've been finding a lot is that literally every single thing I do that is on Zoom or Google Meets or whatever, it's kind of boring, and it's kind of just like it feels the same. And Bio Summit had the same energy, and it just felt so alive. And like I never thought I'd have fun at a Zoom party, but I had a great time at the party last night. And like all the open mics and everything, and just the energy that everybody brought to it felt really great.
Patricia, thank you so much. And again, as I was saying to Anne, just thank you for being an amazing young leader. We are so inspired by you and all of the other young people that are stepping up and just doing everything that you do. Just keep shining, and we're all here to support you. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
I also had one last thought. I'm just continually so impressed with you, David, and the people that you bring together, and all of the amazing volunteer supporters from around the world. I mean, it's just so inspiring to see how generous of spirit all of you are. And it's such a reflection of the larger community, and it's always such a joy. And with that said, I was thinking about, the differences between this experience and last year's experience, which I treasured so much. And I think you did such an excellent job of translating and imbuing this virtual experience with that in-person heart level connection that you make with so many people. And you've done such a great job. And I was thinking maybe the one thing I'd suggest is maybe build in some more free time that's just allowing people to just talk and organize, maybe informally, maybe recorded, not recorded, but like maybe a whole day before where everyone's testing out the technologies, like, hey, I don't know how to use this. Do you know how to help me with this? And then, you could just say like, here's how we, can align around certain things and just share. Because like, I would love to sit down and talk with just about every single person here. And that's what I loved about the last summit. It was like, wait, you've got access to some extra coffee in the back? Like, wait, what? And then you'd have this whole beautiful conversation about so many things. And so I'd love to create more space for that, maybe even a whole extra day. But thank you all so much. I'm so deeply grateful. Thank you.
Chris, thank you so much for sharing that, brother. So for those of you that were able to try Mingler, that was part of the goal with Mingler, to have that set up. I feel like it didn't get used that much when we weren't in session, but that was part of our attempt. I think it was a little bit mixed. I think people that tried it liked it. Actually, can we get a little quick feedback on that? Did folks like Mingler that were able to use it just in the social context for that purpose? Or did people not really was it not really on your mind to use it?
I tried it once, and the problem was actually with muting Zoom. So we just had like a echo,
right,
potentiating each other, and this was like, I think, a main, at least for me, it was the main problem.
Okay, that's great feedback. That's great feedback. I just made a pun. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, but Chris, that's really, oh, go ahead.
The last night party yesterday, I think that made me feel more closer to the other people, and I think that was a great idea. And thanks all DJs and people for their inspiration, their cool ideas. Was a really, really good night.
Thank you so much, Maylee. Thank you. Okay, well, again, I'm going to shift to this, just to the final phase of this, because we're already over time. But this part, I just really want to just spend a little bit of time on some gratitude and some reflections and appreciations. So I'm going to say a few words here just about some folks, and then I want to open it up for everybody else to share. But oh man, this is always the part where I always get really emotional. So just bear with me. But you know, everybody here that is shown in these couple slides, you know, all of the organizers here. I mean, it's so many people. But man, you know, the work that we're doing here, I think it's so important, you know, where we are in this moment in time in history, where we are as a civilization. You know, you can feel how fractured and how broken things feel. And to be able to work with this team, with this group of humans, to try to put so much hard work, you all, it's the scale of the effort and the time and the care and the love and the attention that went into every little detail of this event would not be possible without every single one of these humans. And, you know, I just think it's really important for us just to all collectively acknowledge how extraordinary every single one of you is. I'm going to say just a few things here just to say it, but I'm not going to be complete because I'm going to miss things because my brain is honestly kind of mush. So just please apologize in advance. But, you know, to Maria and Justice, you know, the two of you, it just, I can't, it's really hard for me to express like how meaningful the two of you are to me, both personally, but also just the sheer amount of work and dedication that you two have put into this. Every single week we have what's called a meta leads meeting every Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern time. We've been doing this for, I don't even know how many months. And just the sheer dedication of all of the roles and the hats that both of you have played over the course of, I don't even know how many months. I mean, it's just, it really, yeah, you two are just so spectacular, and all the hard work that you've put in and just how amazing you are as colleagues and really as friends and collaborators. You're both so spectacular. And then just to really, I want to just quickly highlight just the contributions of some of the folks here. We talked earlier about Ola, who's in Nigeria, and just completely held down the applications. Like literally, there were more than 650 people wrote applications. Every single person got reviewed at least once. And of course, it wasn't just Ola, you know, Thelma, others. And actually, if I'm missing people, please in the chat as well. For organizers, please just add stuff, because I'm not going to be able to summarize everything perfectly here. But that entire team is just so mind-blowingly amazing. Zach, on every single aspect of our digital platforms, our spreadsheets, anything that was broken, a Google link that got fixed that needed to be adjusted, Zach, like 24 hours a day, while he was like living in his car, driving around the country, was just solving stuff for us constantly. And can we all give just like massive love to Alex Perlman for building the single most badass conference website I've ever seen in my entire life, okay? And mind you, I should say this as well. Every single person that's been put all this time and energy into this is all volunteer, just like from our hearts and our souls. And that website is better than like I don't know how much money people pay for some of these other conference websites, but our website is like, it's just so beautiful and so user-friendly, and all of the thought and intention that went into it. And of course, for Alex, it's not just that website. I mean, she's organizing tracks, pulling together the governance exercise. We're like submitting like IRBs at like 5 minutes before the thing is gonna happen so that we can get, you know, it's just the sheer volume of work that Alex has put into this has just been so sensational. Let me just keep going here. And again, please apologize. Nels Schaefer, pulling together Hello World, pulling together editing the fellows video, all of his work. We have a virtual conference committee that Nels has been a huge part of this whole, just again, for months and months. And Nels is also going to be pulling together all of the digital assets for Post-Bio Summit. And so, you know, Nels, just, we couldn't do any of this without you. Nell from Copenhagen, UK, holding it down for workshops, guardianship of ecosystems, again, all of the work and pulling together workshops over the past, month or two. Thelma, the soul and the light and the heart of BioSummit is like embodied in Thelma, as you all know. Like anytime she speaks, anytime she just, her presence is just this constant source of light and joy that, I know for myself, I like don't know what I would do without it in my life now. And Thelma has been working so hard on applications, pulling together the demographics, organizing programming. Carolyn Angleton, in the lead up to BioSummit, all of the community town halls that we had, so much hard work, the biodesign track, pulling together this crazy set of panels, all of the thought and love and care into that whole system. With Carolina as well, again, all of the design work, just so much work and heart and soul got put into that. Eduardo for his work on the website, pulling together, working with the design team. Abai for all of his hard work, organizing, working with our team. Derek stepping in, really being able to fill in so many gaps for us over the last couple of weeks. Shrestha helping us fundraise, pulling together the Supermind design exercise, all of her hard work. Andre as well, part of the virtual conferences committee, has been working with us for weeks and weeks and weeks. Same with Belen, also sensational contributions. Xavier's been a part of the BioSummit since day one, and has been one of our fearless leaders and organizers. Patrick for all of the workshops. David Chapis again for all of his support. Amanda Odebike, who again is one of our fellows and one of our first-time organizers and has done such sensational work pulling together so many threads. Young B coming in, being able to do all of this work on the governance track and the biosafety work. Georg, Mackenzie we've talked about, but again, thank you so much, Mackenzie, for all your contributions. Salman for all of your work pulling together all of the exercises and all of the different tracks you've been a part of. Sophia, another one of our intrepid youth. I got to pause for Amanda Strawhacker, she's a first-time organizer with us, but my God, Amanda has just been so sensational, so reliable, so on top of it. Every single newsletter you have all gotten has come through Amanda. And she, again, pulling together all of the work along with Justice for the learning and education track. Calamari for being such a solid organizer with us and helping with so many of the different tracks. Isis, who you all know, is organizing this massive Latin American BioSummit in addition to helping with everything. Lucas for all his work on biosafety earlier on, also with the virtual conference group. Arnav, all of the social media, building the Slack for us, curating the playlist. Bill Withers' Lovely Day is now a BioSummit anthem because of Arnav. Corinne, who is a first-time organizer, did so much work over the past stretch, pulling together panels, just mural boards, so sensational. Heidi with all of the design work and work on the design tracks and so on. I'm sorry, I'm running out of steam a little bit here, but I really want to acknowledge everybody. Roland for all of his work, pulling together the open mic, the design tracks. John, we've talked about, has been so sensational. Christiana for her heart, soul, and spirit, and help with guardianship of ecosystems. Sequoia, while pregnant and birthing, like with helping us with applications reading every day. And then Mary Polgar for her support on all of the programming, along with Harry and Kenza as well, and Andrew and Sasha. Oh, anyways, y'all, this is just such an incredible group. And then finally, all of the students from MIT that have been such a huge part of BioSummit. Sebastian, Pat, Desiree, Barre, all of the wonderful undergrads that have been serving as your Zoom tech leads. This is Janice, Lizzie, Susan, let's see, Wesley, my dude Wesley coming in, Joseph, Anish, who's one of our high school students also, just did such sensational work. So I really just want to acknowledge each and every one of you. So can we all please unmute ourselves and just give just a huge, standing ovation, applause, every bit of love that you can express to every single one of those people. All of the hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. You rock it.
We just gotta
David,
say
you
thank
rock
you to
it.
David.
Thank you,
David.
you
On
to
Bio
David.
Summit weekend.
Thank you,
To David.
David.
Thank you, David.
Gracias, baby.
Yes, baby.
David, how's your birthday?
Happy birthday to you.
We tried this last night.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy
birthday,
dear David.
Happy
Happy birthday to you.
¡Feliz
aniversario!
Many Bio Summits more.
¡Cumpleaños! ¡Te queremos!
Abrazo, abrazo.
¡Cumpleaños!
Hug your cameras.
Celebrating
Oh.
Bio Summit birthday is never gonna get old for David.
You guys,
You know, he picks the dates, so he must really love celebrating his birthday with us.
I do not. Well, I picked the date. Well, this is back when the Media Lab actually had a physical venue, so this is the one weekend to get. But yeah. Thank you guys. You know, again, this is just such a special thing that we all do together, and it's so important for the world. Literally, just this energy, everything that you all are feeling right now. This is what the world needs. So I really hope that you all take this spirit, take it home, like just soak in it. I know I will over the course of this next period of time. But just really take it in and, you know, let it fill you with all of the feelings. And yeah, you know, this is something to bring back to all of you, wherever you are in the world, and let's spread this. This is the work that needs to get done. You know, this is the work that needs to get done. So, well, does anybody else want to share? Does anybody else want to share a reflection just before we wrap up and kind of call it a, well, I know there's still another sub event happening. We can open it up as well. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd love to. At the first day when we had the speech with Drew Andy, and I had the opportunity to speak about philosophy and to see everyone cheering me up, that was something that never happened before. No money can pay that sensation. And I never received so much love and support from this community, so many incredible people, and I feel really proud to participate in this movement. So I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And happy birthday, David.
Thank you, Halisa. Thank you so much. Other people want to share a reflection?
Can I would like to, David?
Yes, go ahead.
Heidi, I'm based in Argentina, from Colombia. I just want to say that just like the same as everybody, like I can't believe this happened the way it did. I can't believe I got emotional. I can't believe I party. I can't believe everything went the way it did, because although I was in the organizing team and we were doing this whole with the fellowship, I was still like, is this gonna work? Like, there's so many people doing so many things. Like, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing because they know. And also I think that's really good, like to have a leader that you trust. And in this case, all the organizers, the panel leaders, the pod leaders, you're like, I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna travel this uncertainty with their guidance. And I was like, for sure, this is not gonna work. And I'm amazed by how it worked out. This is an incredible example, and I have been going to a lot of things, but this is way over expectations, and I'm super grateful to be able to be part of this. And I'm emotional, and I'm on Zoom. I was like sending videos yesterday to my friends, like I'm in a party dancing by myself in the house, but I'm having so much fun, and the music is so good. My boyfriend was looking at me from the window, and he was like, what are you doing? You're like doing it to the computer. What are you dancing to the computer for? So I just want to say that that is really amazing that you brought that out in everyone. Like everyone brought that out in everyone else, and it's an amazing feeling. So thank you, and happy birthday, of course.
Okay, let's go to Sequoia and the baby, who I am going to spotlight because we all want to see the baby.
Hello. Well,
Here's the baby.
And how old is he?
He's 6 days old now, I believe. Yes. His name is, I think it's going to be Delfino, because he's my little dolphin.
Oh, I thought you were going to say David.
No. But I just wanted to say, you know, I wouldn't feel like I could bring a baby to any other conference. So it's just to reiterate this is like a family, isn't it? It's not just random people. Like, I feel comfortable enough to be here with my baby. And I'm really happy that I was able to help just a little bit and to meet just a few people, even though I'm a little tied up. And yeah, you guys are great. And I love you all so much.
Congrats, Sequoia.
Thank you.
And Sequoia, you can be a bio artist with a baby. You can. Many of us have done it. You can. So beautiful. Delfino. Welcome, Delfino. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Any others?
I want.
Yeah. Who is this?
Well, I think that the experience is priceless, and everything we take from the Bio Summit will always remain in our hearts and memories. Thanks to you, David, and everyone, organizers, collaborators, sponsors, everyone here for making this experience wonderful. Happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños en español.
Thank you again, Meili. Thank you. Maria and Justice, you guys wanna share anything to help bring us home?
I'll let Justice go first. I'll think for a second.
I just, I think whatever happens in this space is incredibly special. It speaks to the spirit of the community, the spirit of openness, and I hope that it continues to grow. I mean, I know it will because of your energy, the talent, the just incredible ways of the diverse ways of thinking that everyone brings together is just, I learn so much every year, and I'm just humbled by how incredible you all are. And so thank you for letting me be in your space. Thank you for letting me learn from you. And you know, I just want to continue to see the community grow. Thanks.
Thank you, Justice. Let's all give Justice some love. Justice, and I'm so excited for this proceedings, really. I think it's going to be fantastic. And so that's everybody's cue too. Get your abstracts in, be a part of this all together. This is going to be a really, really powerful document, I think.
Also, big congratulations to Justice with his new job and moving across country in the middle of planning for this Bio Summit and starting a career online as an educator. You're incredible, Justice.
Indeed, Justice. Maria.
I think one of the big things, and you said it, David, but the Fellows Program was a challenge to run this year, and we did it anyways. And I want to thank everybody who helped make that program a success, because it was a big commitment from the coaches, from everybody who helped with the application process there. And what came out of that is our fellows all stepped up. They all stepped up to help make this summit happen in big ways, small ways, whatever they could contribute, running the regionals. And I hope we take that spirit of leadership and stepping up and stepping forward and making space for other people to step into, to lean in, and that we really lift up communities. Because we have a lot of stories to tell. That was one of the big takeaways for me, is we have the stories of people whose stories aren't being told, and we need to help the world. So we got a lot of work to do, people. It only starts here. And trust me, if people have free time, let me know, I can fill it. It's my special skill in life.
Maria, you are just so special and extraordinary, and the world is so lucky to have you. Everybody, you know, this, as Maria said, this is not the end. This is really the beginning. You know, I think when I think about day one, I think about Marshall and Abel and this whole notion of relations, and that we build communities and we organize together through this. What we are doing right now is the essence of organizing. It's us developing common shared experience, emotional connection with each other. We are in relation with each other in a way that we were not 3 days ago, right? But because of all of this that has occurred, you now have connections with people you've never met before, like in real life, that are profound, you know? And this is something that nobody can take away from you. And even more than that is the essence, is the foundational structure upon which we can build, upon which we can scale. And so leadership, again, you know, shout out so much to Maria, Justice, like the fellows program. I really think that, you know, our ability to scale that, for all of you to really think about yourselves as leaders, because you are, this is how we ultimately will really make that change, I think, and, you know, bring together some of these values that we've been reflecting on over the past couple of days. And, you know, I think I reflect back to Manu's points earlier too about ownership, and that the community ultimately needs to step up and own it. And that's the same thing with the Bio Summit. That's the same thing with this whole movement. It doesn't happen without all of us participating and working together. We can create these structures, but it really is about us. But, you know, once we all know about this family and this connection, it feels like it's possible, right? It feels like it's possible. So everyone, so much love to each and every one of you. Bio Summit 4.0, it's just so far beyond any of mine, and I think the organizers' expectations, because we had no idea what to expect. But you all are so amazing. Please, please, please take care. Oh, share your reflections. This is the other thing. On the Slack, I created another channel called Reflections. This is another Bio Summit tradition. For all of you, you're going to be processing a lot of feelings. You're going to be processing a lot of knowledge and just processing over the next bunch of days. Use this Slack channel to share your reflections, okay? This is really important. It's right over here. We built it into pluses and deltas. It's BS4 reflections, okay? What's gonna happen is we are all gonna be going about our lives. Real life is gonna hit hard. Like in the United States, we have this like totally madness election that's happening. I mean, there's just so much craziness. But over the next 24 hours, soak in this energy and write something down. Document it for yourself, document it for us in the community. It'll be a great way for us to continue this energy. And the Slack is not going anywhere. We're all gonna be on there. It's still a great way for us to connect and stay in touch. So, so that's it, everybody. So much love to you all. Oh, let's do a family photo. Let's close it out with a family photo, and then witches and drinks. I forget the name of the thing, Alex. I'm so sorry. But let's close it out with a family photo, and then we'll transition into our unconferencey, you know, chill thing that's happening. So, all right, I'm gonna need some help. Hope other people are screenshotting as well. Find a good object. Everybody getting their objects, and everybody unmute themselves. This is really important. We're all gonna unmute ourselves, and we're gonna say family and in the languages that we want to share it in. Okay, so everybody, please unmute yourselves. You guys ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Family.
Bye, everyone.
Love you all so much.